Hey everyone, we are live. Sorry, y'all. I'm in my hey, listen, I'm super relaxed today type mode, but I have a special guest and I just want to introduce y'all to her. We're also going to go over this new concept, which we believe is powerful for the brands that exist today in the world that we live in, okay? Which is basically making sure that you are checking on your clients, which refer to testimonials. And it's Testimonial Tuesday. So we are going to talk about I'm sorry, I'm at my grandmother's house, y'all. I'm babysitting, so it's like I don't know what that thing is saying.
This is a
So
reminder.
when
Time to exercise. Stand and sit.
Okay, got it. So when we talk today, we're going to talk about the good and we're going to talk about the bad. Okay, so y'all bear with us. And when you log in, when you come into this live, I want you to share it. I know you can't share it from the Facebook group because it's private, but y'all share it from from your social media accounts. Show some love to the W.I.N community, especially now that we have some huge, I want to say huge names for me, because when I see what the business is doing, y'all, it's big time. So I want y'all to get as many people into the live as possible. So share on your Instagram, not Instagram, on your LinkedIn and your YouTube. If you can on YouTube, just share that link to your friends. So, Miss Z, I have you here today. We had an amazing event at Milkshake Martinis
Yes.
this past weekend for our meetup. So I want people to get to know you as the business owner. So let's start with that. Tell us who you are.
Well, first of all, everyone calls me Z because everybody tends to butcher my name. So I just say, okay, just call me Z. That makes it much easier. So I am just a city girl, um, cool, calm, and I enjoy what I do first and foremost. Um, I love customers. I love customer engagement. I love customer experience. I love to make my customers happy, and that's my goal as a business owner. And that's one of my first pet peeves is customer service. And in this industry, we have a lot of customers that are displeased with their service. And me being a customer myself and have experienced some of the horrible stories that I've heard and experienced as well. Um, my goal is to change that around. And my background comes from hospitality. So I know for first and foremost how to deal with a lot of the customer service issues. And as I said, that's my goal, to always keep customers happy, because number one, you got to think about it, that customers are the keys to your success. They are the ones that keep your doors open. And by any means necessary, within reason, of course, I'm going to keep my customers happy, no matter what the cost is. I got some customers coming in, they may complain about milkshake, this, that, and the other. They don't like this. I don't like. Okay, what's a $15 milkshake compared to my customer that can gain me?
Well, listen, they don't know nothing about the milkshakes yet, so we're gonna get to that because baby, y'all got to see these milkshakes, and when she talked about them, you're gonna understand why. But you said something real key. You said hospitality.
Yes.
So you came from that background. So
I came from that background. Been in the hospitality industry over 20 years. So I'm just embedded in that, just giving good customer service. It didn't always start out that way, but I grew myself into becoming what I am today. Yes.
Let's talk about that part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can we talk about that part? So first of all, before we get into the real deal, okay. I want y'all to follow Milkshake Martinis. Go to your social media, follow Milkshake Martinis. I'm gonna put the links in the comments as well, so you all can have access to that. But you're talking about building a brand from the ground up, because you told me your story and I was like blown away by your faith, your drive, your resilience. And a lot of times we get discouraged. Like, you have a brick and mortar, so you out there. Right? You're really like, just, hey, I'm going to make it work. And so when you said that you had some things to work on, it kind of brings me to asking you another question. So I just want to ask one more question before we get into it, because about you being that powerful woman behind the brand, where maybe, you had to go through challenges where people didn't believe in you. Maybe you didn't believe in yourself. Maybe you had some bad experiences that made you deter or feel uncomfortable, like bad customers. So is there anything that you feel like people need to hear right now that you went through, that you feel like they could use your story to overcome?
Support. My main thing was support. I had very lack of that, very little support. And support, when I say that, support coming from the people that I most expected to come from. It's my business, so everyone is not going to put their all into what you feel, what you expect of them. But I think differently. If I have a friend, family member, and if they need help in any type of way, I'm all for it. I'm 100% in. But I just didn't get that.
And I think that is a common thing, because you said something really powerful, that it's your business, it's our business. We don't necessarily, expect, but it's kind of nice to know that, like how I used to hear, where's the friends and family discount? I don't know nothing about that. Mm-hmm. Like, because we're already building and working on things that we didn't even expect to deal with. So we're kind of trying to figure it all out, and then we don't have any support. So where did you finally feel like you got, some type of support? It may not be everything that you needed, because we know it's a challenge. We're all kind of going through this journey.
Well, I'll just say this, that the support, okay, I did have a lot of support from my husband. Okay. So, it had to gradually. And a few family members, I did have support from some of my family members. However, that inner circle, the ones that you talk to every day, every other day you go out with and hang out with, I did not have that support from them. So that was my issue. And from that, my circle has become a little smaller. Mm-hmm. Because you actually find out who's there for you and who's not there for you. And it is what it is.
I'm putting something in here, y'all, because I want to hear from y'all to see, has your circle gotten smaller as you've grown the business as well? Because that is so my story, and I'm going to tell you that it's for the best. It was for the best for me. Did you feel like that kind of helped you see who you really needed to have in your circle, or do you kind of feel like?
Absolutely, definitely. Definitely, because it just, it helped me weed out what I don't need. So, and it was a tool that, okay, well, I can understand you can call me to do this and you can call me to go this place, but when I need help, I can't get it. I can't get a phone call. I can't get, can I just come just sit with you and talk with you, since we don't spend time together anymore? I just can't get those, just the little things, I'm not a person that asks for a lot. Mm-hmm. Just the little things. And by focusing on little things and the little things that you notice, it plays a major part in what you can tell is who are your friends and who are actually your family members.
Wow. That's powerful. I think that validates a lot of us, and we talk about it a lot. But for those of us that went to the networking event, we got to see your establishment. So we really got to walk into your vision, walk into your manifestation. So you did that, and you went through that with your challenges. Now you're in the building. Mm-hmm. And now you can grow and you can prosper in different areas. And people would think, oh, you got it. It's good now, right?
No, actually, you would think that, but it's actually just the beginning for me. 2 years in business yesterday, which I thank God for, because even though my vision is big, there have been some doubts on my mind, like, am I gonna make it? I don't know what I'm gonna do, and this and that and the other. But this is just the beginning. And I have had some rocky roads, some hard times, but thank God, like I said, the customers, they are the most supportive ones, believe it or not. And sometimes that I'm in there by myself, or sometimes I have short staff, that I'm in there, I'm the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker. And people don't realize, what that entails. When you're just one person or two people or even three people manning the facility, how hard that is. When you have 40 plus customers in line waiting, that is hard. That is hard.
So who, like, while the customers are being served, somebody's at the register, somebody got to cook, somebody got to make the milkshake, somebody got to answer the phone calls if it's done, somebody got to fix the music if it cut off, somebody somebody got to get the food off the table when it's done. Somebody, like, I watched you.
You watched me.
Watched your staff. And one of the things, I'm background in hospitality too, y'all. So y'all know when I see a like-minded individual that's like, no, customer service is not dead, customer experience is never goes away. Like, I'm about, and that's what attracted me to you, because I was like, oh, she's really about true, authentic approach to making my experience great. And when we were there, a couple other members said the same thing. I think it was Danette. Shout out to Danette. We got your playlist, Queen. Don't worry.
Yes, we got it.
We got your playlist. She was in there. She had the other milkshake martini. We're gonna talk about your gourmet milkshake martinis, because I'm gonna tell you a vision. And I'm not like saying that this is what's going to happen, but I'm so visual, y'all. You know how like Chick-fil-A has a museum? Do you know it was like, it'd be nice to have a gourmet milkshake museum with all the like the different milkshake designs and all the like cups that you can buy and like all kind of ingredients and recipes. Y'all, I'm just saying, she's the only gourmet milkshake shop that I've seen thus far that does it like that. Actually, I don't know any other gourmet milkshake shop. So there you go.
Yes.
But when I walk into certain establishments, and that's the thing, like, that's another thing before we get into the customers, because you got good customers, you got bad customers. Like, let's not act like people don't have malintent sometimes. So I want to talk about the good and the bad, because when we really have a good approach to how we serve our customers, we can catch the bad and really design methods around it to make sure that doesn't happen again. So I want to hear, let's start with that. Have you received any type of reviews that kind of disheartened you, that made you feel like, man, like that may not be the best review, but that's not an accurate review, and it made you feel like, wow, like, why did I deserve that review? And the only reason why I'm asking it, because something you said to me when we were talking last time, I was like, man, I remember my first company, the bartending company, and I got a bad review. And we were talking about that. And I was feeling like, we didn't do nothing. Like, we did perfect service. Everything was great. And so I want to hear if you have experiences like that, because you just said sometimes you're manning it by yourself.
I had a few experiences, not so many that it's overbearing, but I did have. For instance, there was this one lady, and it really blew my mind, and I knew it was her, because I'm a person, I pay attention to detail, and I pay attention to everything. And I am in my line, I'm just an observant person. That's just in my nature. This particular lady, she came in there with her little boy, and it was actually her birthday. And actually, let me see if I could go back to the review, because I want to speak facts, and I want to put anything that's in there inaccurate. Her name was Elizabeth Garcia. She's the one who gave the review. Okay. Her review says the shakes are good. However, they were very slow at making them. We waited over 20 minutes for 2 milkshakes, and the place was not even busy. So with that being said, we were a little busy. We weren't busy to capacity, but we were a little busy, and there were only 3 of us at that time. However, what Elizabeth failed to do was take in consideration that, these milkshakes are, they don't come out of a machine. That's number one. They put love in the milkshakes and creating them and designing them and giving them to them. Number 2, it was her birthday. She got a discount for her shake, which we always give our customers certain percentage off their shakes when it's, a special, anything that they're celebrating special. And on top of that, giving her a discount, we designed her milkshake for her birthday. So we did a little extra, put the candle on there and everything. We went over there and we sung happy birthday. What Elizabeth didn't mention in her 2-star comment is that we did all that, but she focused on what she wanted to focus on. And I don't get it. I'm like, really? And I shook my head, and my reply was, let me read my reply to her, because I want to be factual.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back here cracking up because this stuff is public information. So feel free to look at it yourself. But
yes,
this is a space where we should feel free to talk, that discuss what happens in business, because I don't see any other places where we really do this. So go ahead, continue. Just wanted to throw that in there.
My response to Elizabeth said, Elizabeth, we apologize that you had to wait. However, there was other customers ahead of you. Also, we have a notice that explains our wait time in front of our register. Also, we wanted to make everything special for you as we sung happy birthday for you, and it took a little more time. Thanks for patronizing. And it was short and was direct. But with things like that, you would think a customer would take in consideration, there is a sign right there that says these milkshakes are handcrafted, so there'll be a little more time. Number one. And number two, they're doing something special for me for my birthday, which most places that I go, you wouldn't get that. And we're singing happy birthday to her and just making her shake look appealing enough to her. Oh, wow, they thought about me on my birthday. And for me, no matter the wait time, that goes above and beyond. I personally wouldn't go on Google and say, I'm gonna give you a 1-star or I'm gonna give you a 2-star. No, why are we doing this?
Wait,
no, I just don't get it.
I gotta piggy off that, because listen, we all have to be very transparent about business and how it works for us. And that's one of the things that I love how you brought that up, because when you know your customers well enough, right? Like, you can remember who the person was, and you could just be like, I remember the exact experience. I remember what we did. And I think that speaks volumes on how we care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of hurts a little that someone comes and just says whatever, when you like, listen, we spent you even made a customized, not you, but your staff made a customized milkshake martini for Arithia, our other leader in Atlanta. She was like, I want something like this and like that. And they went above and beyond, and they made her own design. So here's the thing. I love how you explained it, right? Like, and this is why I think we have to be very, like, take the emotions out of it, because these people are just coming in wherever they are. They could be having a really bad day, come in there and take it out on the establishment. I've had people do that. I've had people actually say things about businesses that I've worked with, and I'm like, that is absolutely not true, because it doesn't like someone working there. So there's so many different things. So let's talk about what happens when you have that type of review and you're just like, whoa, like, I cannot, like, what? This affects me. Because now people see that you had a bad experience, but it's not true, knowing that we went above and beyond. So you responded to make sure that wait was canceled, but then it's still there. How do you feel about that?
Well, at first I felt some type of way, but you can't please everyone, even going above and beyond. And that's just the nature of a business. I was like a little deterred. I'm like, okay, well, I not took my time, and we not did this and we not did that, trying to appease this lady, and all her ass want to do is just sit and say negative things. No, I don't like that. I don't like it. But I get it. You can't please everyone. And does it play an effect? No, because the next person and the next person beyond that, they react different. So I can't let that particular person, deter what's going to happen in the future for my other customers.
I feel that, because that's what I feel like as a true, major boss CEO. You have to kind of cut off how you feel about someone and move on, because there are other people that need that extra service. Now, did it actually, like, and I'm going to go over to the review place, because where people are able to give these customer reviews, and I set up all my clients with Google My Business, and that is an open platform where people can review whether they at your establishment or not. I had someone give me a 3-star review. Ain't never had my service before. I don't even know this lady, and she just out of nowhere just gave a 3-star review. It's like, I love being in her room. So if you love being there, then why I get 3 stars? Sometimes I've noticed that people just cannot give you 5 stars. They're just like, I gotta do like 4. It's just, nothing's perfect to them. So I think when we put it in perspective, I love how you said it can't affect how I do business. And when you actually responded, and then you look at something else you told me that I want to ask you about too. What about the services that do allow you to get the reviews, and how much what is the word I want to use? How much access they give you to being able to validate those reviews, right? Because I had my review done, I responded and said that did not happen, and they were like, "So what?"
And I find that challenging as a business owner, because you do get false information that's put in there, and it's hard to go back and recover. For instance, I think I shared with you a couple of weeks ago that Milkshake Martini was a 4.8. After after one customer had went and put a 5-star review, and it dropped to 4.7. So, I'm pulling my hair, I'm pulling my wig, like, what the hell going on right now? So, I actually got in contact with Google. I said, you guys need to do something about this, because I just had a 4.8 and the customer just put a review on there, a 5-star review stating that everything was good and they loved it. And I went down to a 4.7. So something is imbalanced right now, and you guys need to figure out what's going on. They told me, well, maybe you got a bad review prior to. I say, well, it still don't make any sense to me, because if that was the case, you guys should have did an investigation before taking the score down. So they did their investigation and whatever they had to do, and it went back up to 4.8. But sometimes we get stuff like that as business owners, and you have to pay attention to, because Google screws up too. They really do. You have to, I can tell you, I pay attention to everything.
I was just talking to one of my clients today. We were talking about we were in a session, and she was like, I'm looking at all my back end. I want to know everything that's going on in my business, with programs, with software, who's doing what, because you're right. Like, we are pretty much operating this thing from our idea and putting it into the world as this running vessel. And people are supposed to be able to, understand it and all those things. But if you don't know how things work, right, you're leaving it up to those other people to work it for you. Like you talking about with Google, anybody can miss that. That's something that you got to be real intentional about. Like, you're like 4.8 went down to 4.7. That's big. Like, no. And I appreciate that, and I honor that, because there's not enough of that, right? And sometimes there are things that we're frustrated with our businesses, and we don't even know what happened because we're not doing the investigation, and we're just like continuing to, I think we continue to move along growing the business, but still kind of having that like punch in the gut, like, dang, I got that bad review, but I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep going, but not catching it. I feel like it lowers your confidence in business. Like, I feel like if you don't catch stuff like that, and you see that things are kind of more out of your control than you think. I mean, what's your take?
You can only control what you can control. So if something that I can control and I have my hand in it, I'm going to do that. But one thing you can't control is other customers' perception of your business. Is if AYZ want to give me a 1-star, hey, I can't control that. Could I have control that? When they came into my establishment, I did everything that I know I was supposed to do to make that customer happy. But I control if they're going to, even though I do have a little control over it, but it's up to them whether they're going to give me a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, or 1-star. It's totally up to them. I can control what they're going to put on there. Realistically.
I can. All the community members that came to Milkshake Martinis, y'all go over to Google my business page, y'all give a 5-star review. Y'all say everything that y'all told me on Sunday about those. I've been not seeing not one bad review. I think that's really intentional too, because even as a community, like, I'm just thinking, for the way that we move and the way that we need to support each other as women in business, and having men supporters too. This is a movement. Like, we need to be able to come together and say, hey, everybody go ahead and leave a great review if you had a great experience. We don't do enough.
If you have a great experience.
Right.
Only if you had a great experience.
Well, don't lie now.
Don't lie. No, I want your, me, I'm like, give me honesty, because I like honesty. I want 100% honesty. I'm cut and I'm brutal, and it's just like that. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, her ass was up there taking too long to make a shake. And, sometimes that happened. Hey, it is what it is. I've had reviews that say, yeah, it took them a long time to make a shake.
I can see if you were, but honestly though, I can't imagine, even if that was the case, how it would come down to going outside to I'm going to leave this review because I've watched this. I've been there twice, right? And so I've watched both times how you train the staff, because they come out like our server came out like 5 times, y'all. Like even when we was done, she was like, "Just want to make sure you're okay." So and then even when I think then she would have shake. We were like, "Oh, where's the shake at then?" Because we all got our shake, so we all looking like, hurry up and get yours, sis. But it is gourmet. I had a whole cheesecake on my glass, on my milkshake glass, y'all. I had a cheesecake. So if y'all don't understand what a slice of a cheesecake look like by itself on a plate, imagine that on a side of a glass like a garnish with a whole bunch of just goodness built up on the top and all the milkshake down at the bottom of the glass. And all we was doing was slurping hard the whole time. I couldn't even finish it. I couldn't finish the cheese steak. It was a whole meal. And just knowing that I'm waiting for something like that, it's really hard unless I'm having a really bad experience. Unless, things are really going bad. In the world we live in today where I can walk in the subway and they're not even wearing gloves no more, bruh, I'm going to need, you to give a 5-star review when you come to establishments like that and you have someone that's the owner that's so in tune with the business. And yeah, I don't think that you can change the way that someone sees a brand. That's just what it is. That's what a brand is, right? Yes. But you have your branding in place. All your branding elements look amazing. Okay. And your brand message is definitely aligned, because I'm already seeing all these things. So those are things put in place. How people see you, I believe, is in my opinion, when I look at everything I looked at in the market, because I did research milkshake martinis, y'all know how I vet everybody. I'm sorry. So when I was in the market, I was looking at everything, and I love it. I love it because it speaks volumes. And so that one bad review, that one bad situation, or those few bad things doesn't hold weight to the pot when you're doing it right. So let's talk about the reason why you are doing it, which is for the customers who really appreciate it. Like me, y'all, I'm so excited about these milkshakes. So what is a really good review that you feel like you received that you want to shout
out? There are several. There's like,
shout them out then. Yeah.
Hold on, let me read one. Let me find one.
Yeah, so go ahead and look for those reviews. And listen, for those of you who have definitely, come through, appreciate you coming through. Hey, Ariana, I see there's a couple other people that came through, said hi, and yes, definitely. So appreciate all of your shares, all of your, participation in this. But I want to hear from y'all, because there's a lot standing on your reviews. And sometimes the reason why people, for me, when I go to establishments, I look at reviews first. So when we look at that being the way that we market ourselves to, because y'all know, like being in the market, sometimes when you're working on your law of averages and you're building up your market presence, eventually your marketing expenses go down because you have more word of mouth, you have more reviews, you have people that enjoyed it, they keep coming back. So this is really where we want to, put a lot of our energy. But we also want to talk about the bad part too. Okay. That there are areas where it may look a little dim or a little shy, or people may not give the response that you want them to give, but that's not the end of the world. Testimonials come sometimes in so many different ways. I've got testimonials from family, friends, through text messages, right? Like you can get all those things and share it, but I want to hear from your official review site, which is like Google My Business, which you have. So go ahead.
Okay, so one of the customers wrote, and this was Her name was, hold on. Tracy. Her name was Tracy French. Her review was 5-star. And Tracy stated that the staff was very friendly and helpful, narrowing my choices down. Each staff member spoke to us, and they look all like they enjoyed their job. You don't see that often. The owner was there, and she was very kind. The music was on point, and they had board games for us to play while we wait. My friends and I got a milkshake, which was very delicious. We definitely will be back for the food as well. So that was just recently, about 2 months ago. So, little things like that, when, we to knowing that you have to wait for a shake, and it's not your typical milkshake. You don't wait 5 minutes. The most time you should at least wait 10 to 12 minutes from beginning to the milkshake to the ending process of making the milkshake. And that's if you don't have tickets ahead of you. There is a process, but we offer good entertaining music. We offer board games that you can play, just something while you're waiting for your enjoyment, so it could take your mind off waiting for your shake or whatever you're waiting for. So that's one of the things that, we opt into the business. Hey, we let our customers enjoy the games while they're waiting, especially if they're coming in there with their families or their friends. You could play Uno, you can play checkers, you could play chess, you could play Connect Four, Family Feud, and listen all while listening to great music.
But you curated that. You curated that atmosphere. And when you talked about the review, it's so funny. I'm thinking, like, did I get my review? This is a checkpoint, y'all, because we got to check ourselves, because sometimes we talk so much about great businesses, but we never really put it on the dotted line. So I'm That's true. Let me check myself, because, as a supporter of women in business, y'all know I'm about like action. So I don't want to be left out of my own. But I just really I want to honor the fact that you had games, because me and my boyfriend, shout out to my boyfriend because he's so amazing, y'all. But we went out for a date day, put it like that, because y'all know I will scout different places, and I saw Milkshake Martinis. Shout out to y'all being listed on Google My Business with 177 reviews, baby. Y'all moving. Mm-hmm. And I always go to Google, like, of course, the largest search engine. And when I wanted some milkshakes, guess what popped up? Milkshake Martinis. And we went out there. I love the color because it's money green. Mm-hmm. Went inside, and I love the decor. The music was popping, and she's right. I think that those are real big highlights that sometimes gets overlooked, right? And I think that is so satisfying, because I don't hear the customers in the reviews saying, "Oh my God, that milkshake was the best milkshake I ever had." No, I hear them say, "Girl, that music was on point, and I felt good sitting there drinking my milkshake and just enjoying the atmosphere." You created atmosphere. The mm-hmm. games along with the music, y'all. And me and my boyfriend were playing. I'm super competitive. So while we were waiting for our milkshakes, right? And I don't think anything that is, first of all, it's worth waiting for. And if you want something that's going to come to you like that, then go to the,
Dairy Queen.
Right. Because they'll give it to you in 5.5 seconds. But if mm-hmm. It's just like anything quality, right? If you want something quality, luxury, elegance, you're going to pay for it. You're going to wait for it. You're going to invest in it. And so mm-hmm. when I think about what you provided, because your business, like, okay, it's going to take this long for you to get your milkshake, because we're not going to rush it to you. We're going to take our time and make it so that you enjoy it, even if it only lasts 5 minutes, because you're going to slurp that thing down. Mm-hmm. But you're going to have an experience with the milkshake itself. But y'all, the games, I was beating his butt in Connect Four before we even got our milkshakes. Like, I was like, deuce, deuce, deuce. And what it did was it created a sense of like nostalgia. And I started to think about, how I felt when I was a kid and things I used to do to have fun. And I think that for me speaks more volumes than, someone having a establishment with gourmet milkshakes. That's amazing by itself. Mm-hmm. But the fact that you incorporated these things in there, that's why I feel like knowing the woman behind the brand, knowing you, knowing how you operate, knowing where you came from, how you built yourself up, knowing that customer service aspect, you can tell how you use your skill sets and you use your gifts to bring together the experience. And I don't think people can really understand that if we all lean into ourselves the way that you do, the way that you did, we're gonna have to get back on here and do another interview so they can hear the deep part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. But I just want to commend you for that, because that's what brought me back. Just like that lady said in the testimonial, I was like, there's games there, and there's music there, and this is the fun part. Whenever you walk in the door, everyone's friendly, say hi to you, and the owner's in the back. And I'm going to tell you one thing: when I met you and they were like, "Yeah, I'm the owner," and you were working just like everybody else, I was like, "Oh my God, I love this girl. She is out here like really pushing the meter." And I'm not talking about like, how some people work in their establishments and they're just like monitoring, controlling, micromanaging. No. Like, you were like at the tables, asking us how we doing. You like, did you enjoy it? Anything else? Like, you were there. Like, you were one of them.
I'm very hands-on. I and sometimes I have to take my hands off, but I am a detailed person and I'm very hands-on. So I'm going to be at your table. How you doing? Making sure everything is okay. I want you to leave Milkshake Martini knowing that we have met your expectations or either exceeding it. That's my goal. That's my primary goal. Make sure y'all coming in there paying $15 for a damn milkshake. Y'all better have the best experience y'all possibly can. And that's my goal, to make sure that happens by any means necessary.
And that $15 is a steal.
It is. Because a lot.
It's a steal because you get a whole meal in a. Okay, I'm not even gonna say it. Just go figure out for yourselves. I do want to say this because we're going to drop the information in the comments for y'all, because I know you're going to watch this live afterwards. It's going to be static, so you can come back and watch it at any time in the community. But I just want to also, just give light to any other testimonials that you have. It's Testimonial Tuesday, y'all. And this is something that was curated and thought of by Ms. Z. When we were sitting there having our thought-provoking brainstorming session, remember, you were like, this and this and this. And I was like, we should do it. And this is the power of just like opening up your mouth, speaking what you feel, what you think. And here we are talking about Testimonial Tuesdays. And I'm sure that there are a lot of us that either want to understand how to get those good testimonials, want to understand how to deflect the bad ones or adjust them, and also how to really like see what is working for you to get those great testimonials. And I think you wrote that down so great today, just as a launching pad to this conversation series, because I feel like some things are going to come out of here. So any other shout outs?
What'd you say?
You got any other testimonials, any other positive testimonials you want to share?
Not at this moment. I mean, there are tons of them, but we'll go, as we progress, we'll go over those. But yes, there's a lot of positive. There's more positive than negative feedback, which, like I said, I'm very grateful for. My heart is in it for the customers. They're my goal, and they don't want to keep the doors open. It is what it is. They keep the doors open.
You know what? I love that. And I want to say this too, because you talked about going from that 4.8 to, you are a woman after my own heart when it comes to business, because you went from a 4.8 to 4.7 and you checked Google real quick, like, hold up. I need to change that back. And I love that, because you are the boss of your business. No one's telling you what to do, how to do it, or whatever. So sometimes I want to show people how that works, and how when you get out of an employee mindset into owning that you are responsible and for everything. Like, if that review goes down, you're responsible to make that phone call and say, hey, what happened? Technical issues, what's going on? So I really go ahead.
I'm very competitive. Very competitive. And I don't like losing. And I know sometimes you got to take a win, you got to take a lose. It is what it is at that time. But the thing is, when you can, how can I put it? When you can actually go to a platform and say, listen, this is my reviews, these are my scores, why did it drop? And you can pay attention to that. My reviews mean much to me because if I had a 3.5, nobody hardly will be coming to me. And you know, when you have a 3.5 or something like that, that says a lot, because especially if you have 400, let's say 400 reviewers, and you got a 3.5, everybody can't be making this up. But in my situation, you got 177 reviews and you're at a 4.8. That also says a lot as well. So whenever I get a little ding about something, it bothers me. It bothers me because I'm like, okay, where did I drop the ball? Can I make it up? How do I make it up? You have no, I would tell my customers, give me the opportunity to fix it. Don't hesitate to say if there's anything that you're not satisfied with. Give me the opportunity to fix it. That's my goal, fixing your issue before you go out there in the street, word of mouth, or put it on Google or either Yelp. Let me fix it and let me own it. That's all I ask for.
They ain't trying to let you fix it. They just want to complain, honey. They just want, but you know, you made a good point though, because and I want to ask too, and shout out to whoever this is, the milkshakes look like they're worth it. They're more than worth it. When I say, and somebody was like, you know, it's just like a very special thing. No. You go for birthdays, baby showers, bridal showers. You go just because, you know, I believe in treating myself. And one of the things that I always think about is like, okay, where am I going to go to treat myself this week? Milkshake Martinis is that treat. It's not like, you know, you're not going to go there every day to get a milkshake, but you want to always treat yourself. Mm-hmm. Always. I don't care what it is. Like, you don't need a special celebration or holiday. I was talking to the ladies and I said, wouldn't it be nice to just like come and have, you know, different sit downs with your girlfriends, or even if you want to bring somebody in for a fun meeting, you know, stuff like that. And you never know. So I just, I feel your competitiveness because I'm the same way. And I feel like at the end of the day, we definitely have to consider longevity too. Like, I have seen businesses that have been under new management like 3 times. Mm-hmm. You know, and I would love to hear someone put in the comments that they've experienced this. Like, they took over a business and had to deal with those old testimonials, or had to, like, you know, deal with those old customers coming back and now they don't like you. So you got the bad testimonials now. Because I mean, I've worked at establishments before that have had that long of a track record where, you know, what can you do if they've been on Google that long? And so what I've seen happen is that, you know, they started a whole new Google My Business page, and now you got 2.
I've seen it. I've witnessed that. I have forehand witnessed that.
I'm sorry.
They had a 3-point whatever the case may be, and started a whole another Google Business page. Yes, I've witnessed that.
It's interesting, but I think it's, you know, like we're talking about, is for different reasons. And so I really want to pull it out because this is something, and thank you, Z, for just allowing us to just do this with you and, you know, come to the forefront with this conversation. Not many people are bold enough to talk about what's really going on behind the scenes. And y'all know how I do. I'm like, y'all, let's talk, because if we don't talk about it, like, it's just gonna keep happening. And then people are very blindsided. Like, we have a lot of women entrepreneurs in this economy that are really building the economy up with businesses that never owned them before. And we're not gonna leave y'all hanging. Like, y'all need to know what's good.
Absolutely.
It was something that I was gonna say too, because we're coming down to the end of the hour soon. And I just want to make sure that we, you know, give what we came to give, which I think this is an amazing first conversation. This Facebook user, I don't know, I got to look and see who this is. I got to go into the database, but it says, yes, I have seen it, but I have not done it myself with taking over. But it's true what you have said. Yeah, you know, and
you got to take charge. It's your business. You got to take charge. Pay attention to details. Pay attention to everything, because you would catch some things that is just not like, hey, this is not right. And you got to fight for yourself. If nobody's going to fight for you, got to fight for yourself.
And you know what? If you don't already have backbone, then when you get into the business and you have to like grow it automatically, like that's got to be really difficult too. So we have to dig deeper, because there's some things I feel like just resonating with you about this conversation, Z. I think that you've just, had a lot of practice. And we're gonna come back and talk more about the journey. But y'all, listen. I just want to wrap this up by, first of all, Z, I would love for you to give us some advice or something that you would want to leave us with from this conversation. We talked about the good, we talked about the bad, right? So we want to make sure that you have opportunity to look at your reviews, and if you don't have reviews set up, definitely get with me so you can set up your Google My Business, and then you can be like the Z's of the world, where you have all these amazing reviews from people who love you, and then you can troubleshoot the ones you don't. But anything that you think that people need to hear, really, from a standpoint of where you are, because you're in the brick and mortar, you got the reviews, you dealt with it in person, working in and out of your business by yourself. So I want to hear any advice you have for people listening today.
My advice would be just to, number one, never give up. Just continue to focus and be the best business owner that you can possibly be. You're going to please everyone? No, you can't please everyone, but please who you can. Do what you can, to whom you can. If there's an opportunity to turn a negative review around and you have that opportunity, yes, do so, because sometimes if we get a negative review and we get the opportunity to turn it around, that's a great thing. And one thing I do want to say is also as well is that I did have a customer that came in there. He came in there prior. I think he came in there maybe like the 6th, 7th month around when we've had first just opened, and he came in there and then he came back. And this particular day he came back, he walked through the front door, he sat at the table next to the door. Now, mind you, the place was like swamp at that point. And just me and 3 other people. So at that time I was the butcher, the baker, candlestick maker again. And the table was a couple had just got up and left. So I noticed him when I was behind the bar. They just came and sat at the table. The first time when he came to the counter. I don't know if he was expecting to just someone to come over to his table or whatever, but that wasn't going to happen. And he waited for about 15, 20 minutes, left. Next thing I know, I get an alert on Google about an hour or so afterward. He went on Google and gave it 1 star and said he won't come back. First thing he said was the first time he came there, he enjoyed himself. Second time when he came, he didn't, because he had to wait at the table and the table was dirty. Well, my thing with that is, when you came there the first time and you had such a great experience, why didn't you go on Google at that point and tell everybody great experience? That's the issue that I have. But when you come back again for the second time and you see that we were busy and short staffed, you go and put a negative review on there. I have an issue with those people.
You know what? I agree. I agree, because, and I think it's just human behavior without people thinking about it, because a lot of people are not business owners, so they're thinking from another standpoint. But I love your end of the road advice for this live, because at the end of the day, y'all, like, there are going to be so many different challenges. And so we really have to maintain and maneuver. And you gave us some great opportunity to look at our reviews, look at our testimonials, see what's going on there, check Google, because clearly they're making mistakes. And also, just making sure that we're very aware, because you showed me something today, as well as, just, showing up like you always do. But you were like, I know my customers, like, your establishment, your brand. So shout out to anyone who's like you in that fashion, because if you get review, like I told you, I had a review for someone, I don't know who that lady was. You know who people are because you are paying attention. And so that's also another thing I just want to leave with. Just, I'm going to take that as a takeaway for me, and just make sure that I'm paying more attention to the individuals who are in my space. I know it's a little hard on a digital platform, but you know what? You just encouraged me to do that. Before we get out of here, where do you want them to go to see your milkshakes? Someone was like, they look good. Do you want them to go to Instagram?
They could go on Instagram at milkshake_martini, or they could come to 10205 Terrell Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia. You get the best experience there, I promise you. And if you don't hesitate to let me know.
Yeah, she gonna take care of it too. Thank you so much, Z. We'll be back, and make sure y'all still share this live, even if it's over and you're catching it on #replay. We need you. We need your support. We need your thoughts. We need you to tell us exactly what is going on in your business, because these conversations can just get juicier and juicier as we see what you're going through, and maybe we can relate to some of those challenges, because I've been through some things, y'all, and I know Z has been through some things. So really excited.
Sorry to cut you off, Allegra, but not only the business owner as well, the customers as well is also.
That's true. Thank you for saying
well also.
That's true, because you're right, because it's on both sides. We have to be able to see what's happening on every angle. It can't be one-sided, because number one, the customer ain't always right and the business ain't always right. Like nobody's always right. I don't know where that came from, but it's weird. So let's get out of here. I'm going to make sure that I put here, just let me take this down. We asked, how do you deal with your customer feedback? Feel free to leave your answers in the comments. Let us know how you enjoyed this live, okay? And I want you to go visit Milkshake Martinis. Y'all know how it is. And I'm going to put the name up here for you all to see where it is. They're located on Tower Boulevard. What is it? What's the address again?
10205.
10205 Terrell Boulevard. I don't know why it doesn't look that long when I looked at it on the map. Probably because the GPS just be guiding me. So I'm going to go ahead and stroll this real quick as we get out of here. We're going to get out of here. It looks like a little bit early, which is great, because we love to save on time. But just wanted to go ahead and put that up there for those of you who are going to visit Milkshake Martinis. Please let Z know that you saw her on the live. Tell her how much we love her in the W.I.N community, and we want to support her, and just shout it out, right? You can go live while you're there and share on your social media pages as well. Anything else, Z, before we dip out?
No, and anyone that mentions that they watch us on the live get 15% off.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Y'all get some discounts. Listen, we are really winning over here. All right. Well, thank you, Z. I thank y'all for joining us. We're going to get out of here. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see y'all back here. We're going to announce when the next part of the series is going to come. We're also going to do another live. And when you get your 15%, shout it out, go live, and let me know. All right. Y'all have an amazing day.